Okay, TikTok. So I have a question, and I would love it if this could somehow reach Jen Hamilton because I just feel like she would nail the answer to this. But I'm really curious. Membrane sweep. How do we feel about it? Did you do it? Did you not do it? Pros, cons. I just need all the deets. I have an OB appointment tomorrow, and it is scheduled for 2 days before my due date. And I'm at that point where I'm like, I am ready to evict this kid. I've seen mixed reviews. Some women say it was the worst pain in their life and it didn't help. Some women say it wasn't that bad, and they had their kid within hours after them doing it. My goal is to have a natural birth, so I'm like, will doing that help me not have to have Pitocin? I need help, y'all. What did you do?
Okay, first question we got to answer. What the heck is a membrane sweep? A membrane sweep can be done when you're just about cooked, your baby is, and you're ready for him to come out, okay? So it's a cervical exam where instead of just measuring how dilated you are, the provider can put their finger just in a little bit further and then lift the cervix off of the membrane, kind of separate the membrane from the cervix. It's not like glued together or anything, right? But it's just kind of creating a little bit of separation. And in doing so, can, theoretically, release some hormones that may kickstart you into labor. I've had 2 membrane sweeps, 2 babies also. I don't really know if it did much or not because I went in and got induced the next day. So, risks of a membrane sweep. Number 1, it can be uncomfortable. There are varying levels of discomfort. For me, it wasn't that bad, and this is coming from somebody who passed out getting an IUD. Okay, so I'm very much a weenie when it comes to pain. For me, it wasn't crazy. But you may ask another woman that same question, it would be the worst thing that she's ever experienced. The good thing about a membrane sweep is that you don't have to do it if you don't want to. So if you decide, hey, I'd like to try, and they go starting to do it, and you're like, absolutely not, stop, we can stop. Anytime we check your cervix, there's always an increased risk of infection, so that is also a risk of a membrane sweep. Infection risk is lower if your membranes have not been ruptured yet, like your water breaking and stuff. Other risks, your water could break. I haven't seen that happen with a membrane sweep, but it's possible. But you did say that you were hoping for an unmedicated labor and hoping to avoid Pitocin. Could this be something that you use in order to do that? A membrane sweep is a tool in your toolbox, and it's a pretty low risk thing to try if that's your goal, is to go without Pitocin. It doesn't mean that everything's going to work out just how you want it to and you just go into labor. I wish I could promise you that, but it is something pretty low risk that you can try if you want to. Things that could happen after a membrane sweep: contractions, cramping, bleeding. All of those are normal things that you can experience, but that can be pretty unpleasant. There aren't many studies on membrane sweeps. However, what there is out there says that about half the people who have a membrane sweep will go into labor within 7 days. Now, 7 days is a long freaking time, okay? There are people that have a membrane sweep and go into labor that night. There are people that have a membrane sweep and have a baby 2 weeks later. So it's a crapshoot. But if you're wanting to try all the things before you evict the baby with medicine, this might be an option that's pretty low risk to try. Good luck!